everyone. Hope you're doing amazing. If you do this one thing for one day, and if you're trapped in something you do not really want to, I think we're live now. Hey, everyone. That was interesting, right? Hey, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Try do this for one day. And if you feel trapped in this mental challenge that I'm sharing with you, I promise everything will shift for you. My question is, who is living your life? Or are you living your own life, or you're living someone else's life? Today, I've had some really deep mastermind conversations, and I want to share with you one thing that really stood out. And that is, how aware are you that those beliefs that you hold, the way that you show up in meetings, may not be your own beliefs, may not be your what you really want out of that meeting. What I'm talking about is borrowing other people's limiting beliefs and limiting realities. If you haven't developed the muscle of your mind, then you oftentimes end up in the trap that you just jump in the cold sea in that culture, and you start to believe the stories that people tell you without you even questioning whether those stories are true. And this week we have had I had quite a lot of interesting conversations with very successful leaders who, without questioning, had adopted a limiting reality. And that belief had made it difficult for them to really show up in some very important meetings because they came from a place of lack, place of fear, place of not feeling good enough. So, if you are trapped in this space where you subconsciously have borrowed other people's limiting beliefs, then start questioning each and every belief that is not your belief. How true is that? That you, for example, cannot say that? How true is that? That you cannot approach this stakeholder? How true is that? How true is that? Because oftentimes it's not even the truth. But people have experienced something, and then suddenly that experience has become the truth. And it causes quite a lot of friction. It causes you to slow down. And it can make it really difficult for you to achieve more success. So start slowing down and start being so curious about every belief that you hold that does not set you up for success. I promise you, if you do this for one day, then you will start shifting or experiencing a shift in your life. Not only in your personal life, but also in your professional life. When you come home tonight and your kids say something, right, that is their belief. And a belief is a personal reality, it's a reflection of your personality. But ask into that belief, or your spouse, or your wife, or your husband, and they believe something to be true. Challenge that belief with love, because a belief, if it is not a belief that makes you happy, it limits your life. And I don't want that to happen to you, right? You have the choice to choose whether you want to believe in the belief or not. So start reclaiming control over your life. Start reclaiming control over the thoughts that you think. If you've been following me for a while and you've been in some of my teachings, you will know that we think between 60,000 and 70,000 thoughts a day. So there's quite a lot of thoughts that we can play with. The thing is that only about 5% of those thoughts that you think are conscious thoughts, which means that most of your day you operate on autopilot. So if you want to have a better life, if you want to achieve greater results, if you want to feel happier, right? You want to really connect with those thoughts that do not set you up for success. And that you do by slowing down. And the way that I teach and how I do it is to feel the sensations in my body. When I tell myself a story that doesn't make me happy, not only will I be tense in my shoulders, but my heart will extract. I'm losing the words right now, but my heart will hurt. I can feel the pain in my heart. Literally, I can feel the pain in my heart when I'm telling myself something that doesn't set myself up for success. So be so curious about your sensations in your body, right? That's intuitive leadership. Be so curious about that. So in Project Olympus earlier today, we're now talking about the green flags. And this one is Sek. She was missing out some green flags. She has actually borrowed someone else's limiting beliefs. And not only that limiting belief, but also another person's limiting reality. And she was telling herself, a lot of notes here on my desk. She had borrowed a belief that this is never going to work. If you come into a meeting with this is never going to work, you're going to radiate on that energy, right? And you get what you want. You don't get what you want, you get who you are. So if you're telling yourself this is never going to work, or she is but if you come from that perspective, you get that. But that's not what you want as a leader. You want to facilitate a conversation. You want to achieve greater results together, because that's about optimizing your performance together. We cannot be successful alone, right? We can't be successful when we go together. So that was a really, really deep conversation. I just really felt inspired to share this with you. So promise me, because I love you so much, promise me to be curious about the thoughts that you think. And if someone tells you, and I heard it so many times this week, but they say that I cannot ask. They say I cannot approach that person. Be curious about that limiting belief, because that belief is a reflection of their personal reality and their personality. If you adopt that belief without asking, suddenly you're not running your own life. You have adopted that person's not only limiting beliefs, but the limiting reality. And suddenly you're shrinking, you're limiting your own success. And I don't want that to happen to you, right? So slow down. And I promise you, if you do this, it's about commitment. It's about accountability. But I do know if we want to really take your life and your career to the next level, it starts by developing the muscle of your mind. So start becoming curious about the thoughts that you think, the thoughts that other people, and the beliefs that other people are offering you in that very moment. And start be curious about how true is really that. But he said that. But how true is that? You experience something, but how true is that? Because oftentimes it's not the truth, but people buy into what limits them and not what sets them up for success, right? So really promise me that you do that. And I just really want to, just before ending, because this might be the very last live I do, we are going to host another amazing workshop tomorrow. We had the first workshop today is about leadership by design. And I can feel my stomach because it was so amazing. We're going to talk, we talked this morning, and we're going to continue in another cohort tomorrow morning. We talked about leadership by design 2025. There's a lot of shifts happening in our world right now. And if you, for example, do not grow your emotional intelligence, if you have no track of your personal brand, then you want to understand how you can grow your personal brand, emotional intelligence, because there will be a lot of pressures on leaders, on you, going into 2025 and beyond. So tomorrow I'm gifting you with a free workshop, and I'm going to give you the insights that you want to be aware of. Maybe they will not surprise you, but we had a really deep conversation. And more so, I'm going to give you a 9-step roadmap that you can work on right after the meeting. For example, what is your word for next year? What is your brand for next year? Personal brand. If you want to achieve greater results, you want to grow that muscle of your personal brand. What podcast will you be on? What is your brand? So when you're not in that room, what will people talk? What will people say when you're not in that room? Right? We're going really deep. And I'm here to help you take your career and your life to the next level. I'm going to drop the link below, at least on YouTube and LinkedIn, and make sure that you secure your spot. It's free, and if you are like any one of the other people who joined the workshop earlier today, you will leave with a very detailed roadmap, what you want to work on, what you want to be curious about, what is your word for next year, what impact do you want to create, because 2025 is going to be a make or break year for a lot of leaders. I don't want you to be in that group that do not succeed, right? I want you, and I want to help you succeed. So if this is for you, I hope to see you tomorrow. I want to see you tomorrow, right? Sending with said with all my love. And I think that's it, really. So with this, thank you for tuning in. As always, I love you, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye for now.